Welcome back, hunters. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Way of the Hunter. So last weekend, I actually managed to get a little bit of progress done each episode. I got the white-tailed deer hard shot we needed to open up that entire hunting area down in the southern half of the map. And I got most of the steps forward for this current objective we're working on, where we need some Ross's goose meat and Lesser Scaup meat. Now, I still do need some more Lesser Scaup, so we're going to still be around this area for a little bit. So let me just get down and see if we can find them. There was some comments in last weekend about people having some trouble doing the duck hunting, and it seems like wherever you aim, it doesn't want to register too easily. It really feels like you have to almost like warm yourself up to the distances a bit, and then take your shots and see. Like, depending on basically the flight path of the ducks and, like, birds. Thought I just heard turkeys. Yeah, maybe it's just the sounds of this area. But anyway, I'm going to keep going with this, try to get this wrapped up, and then we'll probably keep going with the story for a little while, just because it is, like, slowly introducing us to new species to go after and that. And then maybe I will try to get a little bit of free hunting done on my own. One thing, though, is if I do go into, like, our inventory, I'll probably have to leave a weapon behind, just because we only do have slot for a primary and a secondary. I can't really take, like, another gun out with us, so I'm going to have to basically either be a high-powered rifle, or, like, big game rifle and shotgun, or small game rifle, shotgun, or just both rifles. Which I'm probably going to do the two rifle route, just because the shotgun, I think, is going to be more so for birds. And I mean, if my marksmanship was better, I think the birds would be a better thing to go after. But for right now, I don't think it's too bad just sticking to using the two rifles. Or it won't be bad if I do go that route. I'm hearing some rather odd sounds for, like, the hunter sense on. But you know what? Let me just see about what's been drinking here. Oh, okay, this is a lot of moose drinking around here, but you know what? I haven't heard anything of, like, any of the birds that have been here. So, I wonder if they're all at, like, the other pond. Like, if I... Alright, tab is the map. Like, if I move back down this way, maybe I'll be able... Oh, there's the Scaup. Okay, there is supposedly a rest zone for them there, but I don't think my timing is right on them. I certainly haven't been hearing any sounds from them, so you know what, let me just work my way down to the other marshes or that, and just see if maybe we can hear or spot them. But we're only missing, looks like a little over 2 kilograms, so I think it's going to take a few birds to reach that. The Scaup are a little bit less meaty than the geese were. But I do want to get back and kind of try living up more to some of the lessons Way of the Hunter is trying to teach, or I guess in a way preach, but I'm going to lean more teaching aspect of it. Where it's like, enjoy the quality of the chase, not the quantity of the game taken. Try to be more ethical about what you're doing rather than just, like, going for anything and everything. And just treat it like you would be out hunting in the field. Okay, well, there's ducks, but we're not looking for them. I need to try to find those Scaup. Or Scaup. Or Scaup? I'm actually not sure how to pronounce that. It's a bit of an odd name, but hopefully if we just go around, I'll be able to hear them quacking like the ducks over there are. I know I found them... Actually, I think I found the geese and the Scaup. Oh, more wild ducks. Okay, is this a new one? Okay, well there's Ross's goose for an eating zone. And it says rarely, but I think I found them every time I've been in the area. Just gonna try to find a... Oh, What's that? Well, more... A lot of wild ducks. Yeah, more wild ducks. I'm just going to keep crouching going through here. This does passively... Okay, moose were here as well. Yeah, it's just an ambient bird there. Now, one thing I had to do... Oh, hang on. Oh, actually got a moose out there. It's just a cow, or, well, a young cow, so not really going to be anything to go after. That's our first moose sighting of the game. Interesting to see there's one right over there. Oh, here we go. Okay, you know what? Let me do a little bit of research right now. So it is 9:16, and according to the encyclopedia for the... Here we go, Lesser Scaup. Noon, they'll be around here. So they might still be somewhere in the area. Well, at least that's a nice little way of, like, trying to hone in a bit. Oh, there's a black bear around here, too. Now, one thing that might happen a little bit is... I had to change the mouse I was using because the... I guess technical rant. One of the annoying things, depending on the mice or, like, computer mouse you pick up, is sometimes, like, to open them up and clean them out, you basically have to peel off, like, the little skate pads or, like, the smooth parts that make the mouse slide easier. And if you don't have an adhesive or anything to really get them on quite right, it might be troublesome to say if you'll want to or not. So I switched my mouse out because the mouse wheel, every time I would try scrolling up or down, it would kind of like backtrack on itself and go the opposite direction. A little annoying, so this other mouse I have, its quirk is for some reason the right-clicking almost like double clicks at times. Not always, but just enough to not be able to really predict it. So yeah, I apologize if there's any little frustrations that come up to me when it's happening, but I'll probably look at getting that all sorted out after today. Well, I see if I can try getting the skate off and cleaning out both mice. Maybe it is just something, there's dust or something that's gotten into the insides and is messing up a little bit. Oh. Oh, they were all right here. Ooh, that's actually not a bad one right there. Now, is that just offhand? Yep, that was just an offhand. It just offhand randomly got a pretty good mule deer there. Now, it did say it was a mature one. So I think I'll have to check and see, but I wonder if mature means, Oh. Was that? I almost... I'm wondering if that was like some aim assist that was there for a moment, because it looked like the reticle was trying to follow the mule deer that was up there. But yeah, for just offhand trying for one of the mule deers, we might have gotten a decent looking one there. But it seems to be there's been 3 life stages so far I've seen. There's been young, adult, and mature. I'm wondering if mature is like the oldest they will get. I'll have to do a little bit of looking up to see, just to make sure. But we did get this guy, and I want to see how he kind of is ranking. He looks like a decent antler configuration on him. Might be the best I've gotten so far, too. Let's take a look. Yeah, so funnily enough, I had a hard time trying to get the heart shots on the animals before. And now, for this one, I think this was... Did it make it to the heart? It did. It looks like it just... Oh, actually, it went right through it. I also gotta remember, I should probably start doing, like, more through the front shots if I can, because the way these, the lungs are set in this game, at least, is it looks like it won't get stuck as like just a body shot for hitting the front. If it does go in, it'll probably hit the lungs. Let's see. Hunt rating. Trophy rating was only 2. Vital organ artery. It was a 72% on it. Yeah, so meat info. Lost kilogram by the shot. Nothing by time, though, which is nice. And total is a 312. I don't actually know what, like, the trophy scores are going to be in this game, so I am just going to sell this one. Or should I taxidermy it? Oh, I do not know. See, it's actually... Maybe I will taxidermy, or I will sell it. Like, I didn't realize that this actually has a bit of an odd configuration for the antlers. It's got the branching twines here, but the opposite side is actually at the front. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to sell it. But I do want to check and see if there's, like, anything for, like, age listed here. Here we go. Animal variations based on age and fitness. Animal variations, differences between individual animals of the same species. Age and fitness of animal may mainly influence animal variation. Differences can be very obvious or unnoticeable depending on species. For example, you'll not be able to tell whether a duck is young, old, or mature one simply by looking at it. Some species may only vary slightly based on their size. To find info on the animal unnoticeable to the naked eye, you can look from binocular range and use hunter sense to find out more. Big game has the most differences visible to the naked eye. Young animals have considerably less body mass than adult and mature ones. The older the animal gets, the more their posturing change from upright to hunched down, and the more their body can sag. Okay, find out more about individual, check the species. So I was just looking to see if there was any listing, like what the age levels are. And I'm guessing it is going to be from, as it says there, young, adult, mature. So the best ones to try going for are probably going to be the mature ones. Oh, right there. Yeah, okay, that's it perfectly. So the young and adult you don't want to go for too often. Adult is kind of okay-ish. They are a little bit in age and probably be the best they'll get. But mature is the best priority to try to let the game age up and get better. Or the animals to kind of improve their score over time. So at least I've gotten the... Okay, did not even realize that you guys were all right here. I'm not going to go after them, though. I'm just going to see if I can find the scout. Because, like, what time is it right now? 9:42. Time does move along, I'd say probably a nice enough pacing. It's nothing that has to be too rushed or that, so... I do wonder, should I try taking a few... No, you know what, I better save what shots I have, because I only do have 18. And if I do need to take down quite a few scout for the meat, I should probably try saving what I do have left. But I am going to see about checking the other area where the rest zone was, and if there are any scalp around there. No, that's just more feed we've already... Oh, okay, another need zone for Ross's goose. But yeah, one thing I really got to shift out of focus, it might be a little bit because I am playing Prehistoric Hunt 2, is treating Way of the Hunter as a more slow, relaxing experience and trying to squeeze so much content in per video. I think because I've done that in the past with the series, it has made it so some of the episodes... Again, I shouldn't be that... Nah, let them go, let them go. Those are just wild ducks, we're not after them. If I want to go for any, I can do that after I try to get this next mission done. I figure I'll do that, get some more funding in. And these are all just wild ducks there, right? Yeah, that... I'm going to have to figure out my mouse situation for sure later today. I'm just going to keep down like this, crouching for now. I'm not going to go full prone. I think full prone is probably going to be one that's going to be one I don't want to actively pursue out for the perk. Like, if we check in the perk system itself... Like, yeah, I'm travel 10 kilometers in the crouch stance. I'm getting pretty close to both of these. But it's going to be, yeah, the silent crawler. Even 3 kilometer... I mean, I can see why they decided to make this much smaller because of how slow it goes. But it is kind of nice to have this as a passive system where if you want to specifically work and target those, you can. But even if you just play the game without focusing on that and just have, like, general tactics to hunting, they will come in and unlock and help you along. Like, I can't leave everything up to I didn't have those perks, so that's why I was so easily picked up going after some of the whitetail, but it's good to know that there's a little system where you will improve with time, almost like you're getting experience with doing stuff in the game. And there are some noticeable impacts, too. Like, I'm trying to think for how Call of the Wild... Oh. Okay, there was a black bear just up around here. I had no idea. I'm going to just kind of crouch in slow here. Because maybe... I mean, I am after the scaup, but I don't think the birds seem to be as affected by, like, being scared off as other animals do. They seem to want to orbit around the marsh areas. It's not like they fly completely off and leave. I'm just gonna stay like this, keep slowly moving. Oh, there is a black bear out there. This might be our chance to try getting one. And I did say I was out here for the scaup. But if I can... Oh, yeah, there's one. Okay, let me get the binoculars out and see if we can take a look at it. I don't want to get too close because black bear are actually a fairly skittish animal if they're not like close to, or if they're not really near humans that much. I think it's more the ones that are like kind of living towards the fringes of suburbs and that's where they aren't quite as timid as they are way out in the wild. I know there was one that got alerted as well, but I don't think... Yeah, see, it is an adult, but I wonder if I should try to let it go and find a mature one. Oh, but... You know what? This is a bit of happenstance, so maybe we'll work with happenstance. Yeah, we'll just let it do its thing, stretch the stalk, not the shot, and see if it does give us a good opening against them. Well, let me crawl a little bit further and keep an eye on them. Okay, you know what? One thing... Ooh. Okay, well, our slow walk changed to a faster one, but one thing I saw in the top right, you guys might have seen it a little bit too, or some of you, if you are experienced with the game, might have noticed, is depending on your range for the shot and what you're looking at through a scope, the text will turn yellow. Like, right now, I think this means I don't have the right distance to actually put him down ethically, because it's not a yellow coloration there. So I think I actually have... Oh, okay, one thing that is a little bit annoying is every time I seem to zoom in with, like, the rifle, when I zoom back out, it takes me out of the super slow walk, so my next step is a fast one, and if it's, like, against a very well-rated animal, that might give our position away. Yeah, I do want to try getting him. I just want to make sure... Oh! This might be our first thunderstorm in the game, too. I gotta admit, the rumble makes it sound like it was just back to the right of me. Okay, no, something else. I wonder if it's been me accidentally hitting that, because now when I've, like, done the zoom in, it's not shaking me out at the slow walk, which I do like. Maybe it has been me just being an idiot. Yeah, so that's just him, I'm pretty sure. Now, there might have been a second one around here, or this could be the same guy, and he just kind of... let me... No, I think that's a bush out there. Yeah, the rain might actually be helping us too. I know in Call of the Wild, you have to level up and unlock them in, like, perks. But there is some things that'll help modify you so that way when it's rainy or that. See, you know what? Okay, how far is he going to get? I don't think he's going to get far. No, he was able to... Going further than I thought. I was kind of hoping... Yeah, he's getting further away than I thought he would with trying to take that shot like that. Okay, well, I'm going to try to follow up after him and see. I was hoping kind of like the deer, it would be it go through the chest more and hit a lung, but I don't know if that actually did. It's still possible it is, because one of the things about Way of the Hunter is the animals don't instantly drop on heart shots or lung shots. They will go for a while until it, well, they basically do pass. That's probably the best respectful way to put it. I kind of thought that we might have seen a little bit more immediate results. I think I got a little bit too confident with how the deer went. Let me just see if I can try and find where that shot hit. Because he was around... it may even be possible, too, that this weapon isn't powerful enough. Although, this is supposed to be a tier 5 one, and considering that I think it only goes up to tier 6, we'll have to see. I think he was just kind of like around here, was it? Yeah, there's all the need zones. Okay, well, Ross's goose have been here. Okay, where... I'm trying to remember where he was. He was right in, like, one of these bushes, almost. He got a shot. He kind of came a bit forward, then ran back and around. Just trying to think of... where he was. This is the moose drinking area. Oh, here we go. Okay. Small amount of blood. I am quite surprised that it wasn't powerful enough that distance. It might have been I didn't get one of the... I wonder if the... I should check that quickly on the encyclopedia here. It's like, I thought that looked like a good... That's probably why, right there. It's in tier 6. Yeah, tier 6, and unlike the deer who have the lungs a little bit more forward... Oh, hang on, I'm hearing... Okay, that's the black bear, but I'm not going to keep going after him. As much as I have wounded him, I don't think it'd be a smart idea to keep after him with, like, a not good enough tier weapon. And it's 10... but he is wounded, and I hate leaving him just out there. I don't know if I'd be able to spot him easily or not. Like, I really gotta pay more attention and follow what the game is saying. Like, it... In the top right, when I went for the mule deer, it did give me the yellow kind of indication on the distance and joules for the shot. It didn't at all for the black bear. So it really is that this shouldn't have been a shot I should have taken. I am learning. Slowly but surely I am. I'm just going to see if I can crawl up and look for him. And I don't think I've used... I do have to get a little more experience with how this tier system works for the weapons. Because I think the first weapon we used for the badgers was the old rifle. Or like it was called Grandpa's old rifle or something like that. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is the bear that we did shoot. Just grab binoculars and see if I can spot it. It was just up over there somewhere. Oh, no, actually probably the other side of the hill. I don't hear anything else. Actually, well, I don't hear any of the ducks or that anymore, but that might be because I've gone out of the area. Yeah, he's up on the other side of the hill there, so... I think I might just leave him. Like, I'd rather make one mistake than make two. Leave him just be... Don't go after him until I... Well, don't go after them as a species till I have a tier 6 weapon. But that is going to make free hunting a little more difficult compared to, like, the Hunter Classic and Call of the Wild. Because I know Call of the Wild, you can bring quite a few weapons out with you on hunts. You can have, like, the first 3 or 4... I'm trying to think of how much you can take. I know it's basically like a numbered weight system, so as long as you're under that weight limit, you can bring anything you want with you. Which means you can have sometimes 3 to 4 different weapons all on hand just as you're roaming. But with only having the 2 weapon slots in Way of the Hunter, hunts are going to have to be more directed or focused on specific targets. You can't use a tier 5 weapon to go after a black bear, for example. So it's going to have to take a little bit of time adjusting to that. And each hunting game does have, like, its own little quirks and things that make them different. So they'll take a little bit of time to just understand their flow, their mechanics, and what they're trying to explain. So definitely a mistake on my end for having gone after the poor guy there, but it seems like it's going to be alright from it. If I want to go after black bears, I need to basically take the best caliber weapons available. And I do not think I even own a single one yet. I think all I've got are the shotgun. I picked up that scout rifle, but that's tier 3. Your grandpa's old rifle, which I think is just another tier 3 one. That's like your tutorial rifle. And the one I'm using right now, which is a tier 5. So I'll have to save up some more money and get us a bit of a stronger rifle for the big game. But now I know, after making a bit of a grave mistake for trying to live up to the lessons the game's trying to teach, only go for equal or lesser for your hunting tier. I did hear... Okay, so just wild ducks. What time is it? Okay, we are getting closer to, when the scout might be around the area. But I'm probably going to leave this episode right here, just before I make any more mistakes in it. But thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Way of the Hunter. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give us a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure in the comments right down below. I'm going to try to keep learning from the game and making less mistakes, but at least these are learning opportunities I'm making so you guys will not make them yourselves. Put it that way, this is a guide on what not to do to play the game right. But thank you so much for joining me, and until I do see you in the next video, Hunters and Survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.